Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through some of the problems on the 9B assignment. First one here is number 1A. Find the volume of each rectangular prism. So in order to do that, we want to know the length, width, and the height of this thing. So we know that this distance out here is 3. So this side over here is 3. Let's do that in blue. Easier to differentiate. This height up here is a height of 3. And this length right here goes from 0 over to 3, so all of these are 3. So to find the volume of a prism, it's length times width times height. In this case, they are all 3, which gives us 27, and it's going to be whatever. It doesn't say what the measurements are, so we'll just do units cubed. Okay? Okay. Next one, number 2, consider the triangular base prism alongside. State the coordinates of D and E. So let's see, D is -7, and then it goes up 3. So it's -7 is the X. The Y is 0. And then the height there is 3. That's the Z. And then E is going to be at -7 over to the right 4, so -7, 4, but it doesn't go up at all, so it's -7, 4, and 0. Okay? Find the volume of the prism. So we want to know length, base, height, and length. So this base, this distance from here to here is 4. This height here is 1, 2, 3. And this distance back here goes from 0 to 7, so that's a distance of 7. So our volume on this thing is going to be 1/2 base times height times length, right? So in this case, 1/2 of 4 times 3 times 7. Half of 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42 units cubed. Okay, so that's B. Find the length of A to B. Let's see, you got to find A first. Oh, there it is. A to B, which is right here. So that's just simply going to be, we'd use Pythagorean theorem for that, right? So for part C, this was part B. We would do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So in this case, we do 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. 9 plus 16 is C squared. 25 is C squared, so we square root both of those and we get that C has to equal 5. Okay? Hence find the surface area of the prism. So and that means now we've got to figure out, find the area of all these bases. So that, let's do this for D. So we've got, I like to list them all off. So front and back, that's the front and the back, are both going to be 1/2 of 3 times 4, but there are 2 of those because it's front and back. Okay, let's see this top side here. Top is going to be, that's 5 and that's 7, right? Because we did that earlier. Yep, got that, that was 5. So top is going to be 5 times, let's do the dot here, times 7. And then let's see that we want the bottom. The bottom is 4 by 7. And then we want the left side, which is 3 by 7. Okay, so let's see, the half and the 2 cancel each other out. So this is 12. 5 times 7 is 35. 4 times 7 is 28. 3 times 7 is 21. Add those all up, and that should be our total surface area of this prism. So that's going to be, what, 49, 59, 69, 79, 84, 94, 95, 96 units squared, because we're talking about surface area there. Okay? Alright, next one we're going to take a look at here then is number 6. So the point -4, 6, 10 lies on the surface of a sphere with center 2, 3, -1. So remember, sphere is basically just a ball. The center is at 2, 3, -1, and that's a point that lies on the sphere. So find the radius of the sphere. So to do that, that is going to be our distance formula between all of those, right? So -4 and, oh wait, we're going to subtract -2, subtract the 2 x's and square it. Subtract the 2 y's, -6 minus 3 squared, and then subtract the 2 z's, 10 minus -1 squared. Okay. Double negative turns positive, so the distance is going to be -6 squared plus -9 squared plus 11 squared. So that's going to simply be, let's turn this back on, clear that out. So we know that it's going to be the square root of 6 squared, 9 squared, and 11 squared. Okay, and that gives us 15.43, we'll call it. And let's see, it does not give us any units, so we'll just do units and then find that's the radius, 15.43, right? So then hence find the volume of the sphere. That's where you'd have to look up the volume for a sphere, which is, I believe, 4/3 pi r cubed, I believe. So we should be able to plug that in and away we go. 4/3 times pi times 15.43 cubed. So that's 15.43 is already in there, so I'm just going to take that to the 3rd power, multiply it by pi, which is on here somewhere. There it is. Times pi times 4 divided by 3, and it gives us 15,379.9. So that would be our volume, and that would be units cubed, right? Okay. Let's see, one last one to take a look at here is number 8. Map for a park is shown alongside, where each grid represents 10 meters. Large tent to be constructed on the park for a festival. That's going to be a rectangular base pyramid with base ABCD on the map. That's a huge tent. Anyway, apex of the tent is 15 meters above the center of the base. Suppose ground level has z coordinate 0. Find the 3-dimensional coordinates of each corner of the base. Okay, so that means basically if you're looking at it from the side, it's going to look something kind of like this, right? And it's a rectangular based pyramid. So it's going to look kind of like that. And so this top, we know the top from the middle down here straight down, that's going to be 15 meters. Is that right? That's 45 feet. That's pretty big. Anyway, so then it says we want to find the 3-dimensional coordinates of each corner of the base. So each corner, so the x is, oh, this is now saying x and this is y. Okay, so we know that A is going to be, the x is 10, the y is 40, so it's going to be 10, 40, and then 0 for the, if it's 3 dimensions, it's not, it's on the ground, so the y is, sorry, the z is what's coming up out of the ground, so this here, that's going to have the, that's the only one that's going to have a z other than 0, right? Point B is at 50 and 160, 50, 160, and 0. Point C is at 110 and 140 and 0. And then point D is at 70 and 20 and 0. Okay, each corner. And then now we want to find the apex of the tent. So basically it's going to be right in the middle of this whole tent here. So let's just do this. If we just find the midpoint of either one of these, there's where, well, you know what, there's where the apex is going to be, because it's going to be right dead center. So we don't even have, since it's got the grid on here for us, we don't even have to worry about finding the midpoint, because we now know it has to be at that intersection point there. So part 2, the 3-dimensional coordinates of this vertex here are going to be at 60, 90, 60, 90, and then now we know the height is 15 meters above the center of the base, so that's going to have to be, the Z part is going to have to be 15. Okay? Okay, now that we have all those, we should be able to now just, we can use this information here to find distances, so we can find volumes and surface areas and stuff like that. Okay? All right, that's all we have for the 9B assignment. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks.